Hey guys, and welcome to my next pedal demonstration. This time we're doing the King Dubby delay clone, which I have like this. It's a bit more complicated than the Deep Blue. You have delay time, mix, and repeats, but you also have a switch here that switches between dub mode and oscillation mode. It's a little hard to explain, but I think what's going on here is when you have it in dub mode, it's just like a regular delay. And there's also an extra foot switch for oscillation, right? When you have it in oscillation mode, the delay doesn't kick in at all until you hold down the momentary foot switch for oscillation. So it's kind of like, if you wanted to have a part where the delay just came in and then went away, you could just hold down the foot switch, let the delay go, and then let it off when you were finished, rather than trying to switch on and switch off. So I can see that function. It's not as clean a delay as the Deep Blue either, and you'll see, although it has a much longer delay time available. But as with a lot of these delay circuits that use the 2399 chip, the longer the delay time, the dirtier the repeats get. So I'll demonstrate that. And it seems a bit extreme in the delay time where, the delay back here is really short, and then you reach a point somewhere in the middle where it goes from a very short delay to a kind of a long delay almost instantly. Like, you really have to dial it in carefully. But I'll get to all that in the sound clips, so we might as well plug it in and see what we get. Alright guys, so here's the King Dubby delay. I'm playing through a stock Epiphone Flying V into a Blackheart Little Giant 5, and here's what it sounds like with everything at noon and the dub mode on. And here's the dry signal on the bridge pickup. So you see, even with time halfway up, it's a very short delay. Almost a reverb. And it seems like it ducks a bit, like in the pitch on the reverb. I don't know if you can hear that. So let's stick with time for the moment. If it's that short at halfway, all the way down is pretty much nothing. Maybe a very slight, it's almost like a reverb. Anyway, now we're back into that sort of bathroom sound. Yeah, so you can see I've got it ever so slightly above what it was when we started, and it's already a bit longer. So if I just bump that up a millimeter or two, you can see what we got. It's all of a sudden gone pretty long. And the delays definitely do drop in pitch when you stop playing. while you're still playing and the pitch drops, it almost sounds like a chorus when you're like a really wide sort of chorus, but it's definitely got some crazy modulation. So, and now we're getting into the ridiculous delay times. And you can hear the white noise on the repeats now because the repeats are so long. And at full, so I think it's about 2 seconds. And yeah, the repeats are definitely getting very dirty. So let me try to find a reasonable sort of delay time. Right around there maybe. So let's explore the mix control here. So it's still pretty subtle. Okay, at minimum you get just dry signal, but it's pretty subtle even at a small sweep up. Like you can hear it. And at maximum mix, you still get a very tiny bit of dry signal at maximum mix, but not much. So about halfway, I guess, is reasonable. And let's see what we get for repeats. So minimum is 1 repeat, same as the deep blue. Man, those modulations are really strange. Anyway, so we heard it halfway. Let's try here. You get quite a bit of repeats even before halfway, so. Let's see if I can find the point of oscillation. I think it's right about here. So a little bit more and we'll get louder. And then we can do all the analog delay stuff. It doesn't seem to get as loud. That's maximum repeats, and it still hasn't overloaded yet. So I guess you can, this is a bit more controllable, I guess, than maybe doing that with a traditional analog delay. They get kind of uncontrollable after a point, but this one never seems to really blow out your volume. Anyway, so let's do oscillation mode. And let me try to find a decent, actually, let me let it oscillate here. Alright, so in oscillation mode, so you can hear in oscillation mode, I'm not getting any delay at all. Until, let me see if I can step around the camera here without knocking it over, until I step on the oscillation switch. And when you let it go, no further delay comes out. But it will trail what you played, so I'll show you here. I'll step on it and make a delay, and then I'll step off it. So it continues to play out the repeats even though your foot's not on the oscillation switch, but it doesn't cut off right away. So again, you can use that to sort of add delay to a part and then get right back out, and you can keep playing while the delay is happening. The only thing is, if you really want it to oscillate and max out the repeats, it will start oscillating on its own without you touching the foot switch. So it's a little bit disappointing in that I kind of thought that you would be able to set it to oscillation, but just use the oscillation foot switch to kind of give it a blast of oscillation and then get back out. But you can't really do that, because if you set it to oscillate, it will oscillate without you playing anything. So that's a bit disappointing. But all in all, it's an interesting delay. The modulation is pretty heavy, so that might turn a lot of people off. The time control is really weird. It goes from very, very short to very, very long in like a millimeter of sweep. That might just be a pot issue, not sure. I have to look into that, but that's what mine does anyway. And yeah, the oscillation mode is a cool idea, but where it repeats, or where it oscillates without you playing anything, if you set it to oscillate, it's a bit disappointing. But all in all, it's interesting. Probably will appeal to the noisemakers or weird sound makers out there. And as always, if you want to try it yourself, there's a link in the description for a layout. And yeah, that's it for me for the King Dubby delay clone. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy.